That's right, it's Superhero Week on the Real DVD Watchers, and I just happen to be wearing my Marvel shirt. Today I will be reviewing Fantastic Four, the Tim Story directed 2005 movie starring Ewan. It looks like Ian Gruffin, but it's not. It's like Ewan Gruffin. Michael Chiklis from The Shield, Chris Evans, and Jessica I'm Smoking Hot Alba. This a lot of people don't like this movie, and I will say that I originally was going to review both. I actually have a lot to say on this, so I figured I'd just do the first one instead. What the heck? Yeah. So this is Fantastic Four. Despite doing reasonably well at the box office, this was pretty much critically panned, and the comic book Fantastic Four fans did not like it. But I am here in sort of the defence of Fantastic Four because I stand by it. Having just watched it, I stand by that I do like this movie. If you don't know what the Fantastic Four are, and which just seems like an odd concept to me, but if you don't, it's about this team of scientists, and they kind of change it a little bit in the movie. But there's Victor Von Doom and these four guys go up to the space station to study this this like cloud thingy. I can't remember what it is they call it exactly, but it could help with disease curing, and it might have caused the evolution of life back in the day. Back in the day. And so they go up there to examine it, but they get the wrong estimate of how fast it's moving, so it hits the space station, and they've got the shields down and stuff, so it hits them, and it inadvertently gives them these powers, and they, with a little nudge, they eventually become superheroes, as you would. Yeah, the chemistry between Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans as the Human Torch and the Thing. And very much, from what I gather, it's like they have a little banter thing. Oh, I hate you. Oh, why do you do those things? Oh, aren't we fun together? Sort of thing in the comics or something like that. And that very much seems to remain in the movie, especially in the second half. At first, he's like, oh, I don't want this, this hot-headed supermodel piloting the ship to the space station. No, I won't have that. But they become sort of, little thing, and it's fun because Chris Evans, he just is so good in that role. Apparently, he wasn't much, the character wasn't much in the script, and he was just doing a lot of improv, and he's just so funny in this movie. Some of the situations are pretty unrealistic, like when he goes to the nurse, oh, you're hot, and let's go meet on the mountain and do some snowboarding. And she's like, okay. And then she sees him flying, and she's like, whatever. But it's still fun to watch. It's just fun to enjoy and not think about. And he's got some great lines in the movie, and just his whole kind of wanting to be a superhero and enjoying it, kind of slightly reminiscent of Hero in the first season of Heroes. Everybody else is like, oh, we must get rid of it, especially Ben Grimm. He's like, oh, I want to get rid of these powers, this is wrong, etc, etc, oh no, this is such a terrible thing. And he's like, I'm loving it. And because he does have the coolest power, he can fly, and he's on fire, and it doesn't hurt. Who doesn't want that? There was some miscasting going on in this movie. Jessica Alba, despite looking fine as you like in that outfit, she's just not that particularly good actress. I mean, she's not completely awful, and I know people will be like, "Fuck, come on, stop." Just because she's hot doesn't mean she has to be a good actress. But I really don't think she's completely awful. She has some good scenes in here, but there are some times where she's just like, "I am a robot. I cannot act. Da da da. I love you, Reed. Or do I love Victor Von Doom?" Ewan Gruffin, guy from Hornblower, we'll just call him that. Guy from Hornblower. I think he was kind of miscast. I mean, he's fine in the role. He's fine. He's good. He puts on a nice American accent, because he's not American. And he's fine in the role, but they could have got someone better. You know what I'm saying? Michael Chiklis, on the other hand, is the Thing. There's no disputing that. He is really good as the Thing. As far as characters go, the way they portrayed them, for instance, I like how they did Jessica Alba's Sue Storm, her invisible thing, like when she gets angry she turns invisible. That was interesting, and kind of like they kind of went into a bit more scientifically, but not like too much, because this is a summer movie, but just the way Reed stretches and kind of the cloud thingy has fundamentally altered our DNA. That's the gist of it. And the way they do the Human Torch, that was another problem I had with the movie. I wanted more Human Torch, like just him being. He was really fun in the movie, and like I said, like I wanted him to be the Human Torch more. There's only a couple scenes where he fully flames on, you know, and when he's flying around at the end, I just thought, oh, that's so fucking cool when I saw it in cinema. And that's when I thought, oh, the movie's now getting really kickstarted, and then it kind of just, there was that fight scene and then it ended. I was like, oh, I wanted more. I wanted more Human Torch. The thing looks really cool. Come on, he looks like you would imagine a live action thing would look like. They got it right. It's probably a pain in the ass for Michael Chiklis, with all that makeup. I mean, obviously it was. Come on, look at it. But it just looks so cool, and it's Clark when he finally says, you know, and it's not the toy, but he says, it's clobbering time to Victor Von Doom. He's like, yeah, cool. You know, if you read the comics ever. And the stretchiness. I think the stretchiness kind of, because it wasn't a massive budget movie, some of the effects look a bit like, I don't know, not that great. I mean, and they look okay, but the stretchiness just kind of like, there's something about his skin tones, and it's just like when you see the CGI stretchy hand next to his face, it just doesn't look quite right. But it's cool when he slides under the door, it's like, and then it's just like, that's gross. Yeah, so I think some of the effects are a bit dodgy at times, because it wasn't exactly a mega big budget. I think it was like, was it 70 or 80 million movie, which is not, for like a summer blockbuster, it's not that much. It sounds like a lot, probably, but I mean, it's not a ton. There are plot holes, you know. Ben is like, he like wants to get back to being normal, and he like, Victor Von Doom persuades him to get in this machine thing, and then he like, you know, he's like saying, you know, convincing him Reed's not working hard enough and stuff, and then Ben is like following Victor Von Doom around, you know, doing what he says. And then suddenly, like, when he realizes his evil plan, he's like going to read, oh, a trip in space, how bad could it be? That's what you said, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you're the one who just trusted him just now, you moron. I have to say, I do like the way they established that kind of family dynamic of, and it is sort of like, hey, the Fantastic Four, stay inside until the end. But I do like the way they established the family dynamic, and they have the little stretching to reach to the toilet paper, or accidentally walking on us to, and she's like, turn invisible, like, knock, for Christ's sake. Family dynamic's fun. And I think, I kind of wish they hadn't made Doom like a friend of Reed's, and, or not a friend, but like, you know, kind of associates, and I just, you know, because like towards the end of the film, he's more like a straight villain. He's kind of just a bit flat, but he's still, I think he's a good villain once he becomes Doctor Doom. And I like, you know, it just, that whole end fight scene and action scene I think is really cool. And I just think if they had been more of a villain, I don't know, just like if they had made him Doom earlier in the film, I think because things got kick-started a bit better, we could have had, that's one of the problems with the film, there's not enough action. And I know I sound like a 10-year-old there, but there generally isn't. There's like that scene on the bridge where they save the people, it's like, oh, the Fantastic Four, who are they, blah blah blah. And then there's the end fight scene with the rocket launcher and the falling in the pool, which is awesome by the way. And then falling in the van and on the street, and then what happens to something super hot when you rapidly cool it, you know. That will mean nothing if you haven't seen the movie, but you'll get it if you have. And I know a lot of people hate this movie, and I get it, I get it, but I just can't help but enjoy it. It's a fun, you know, sit back, don't think about it, you know, okay, plot holes, some of the acting isn't too great, but I just do generally enjoy it. I think it is a decent movie, and you know what, I just think it's a fun popcorn movie. Okay, it's not the comics maybe, and they change things, and that's, I'm okay with it because I'm not a diehard comic fan, but I just feel like sometimes I just like to enjoy a fun movie, you know. Not everything has to be fucking Citizen Kane, even though I've not seen that. I wouldn't recommend this. I know that sounds silly, but I wouldn't be like, hey, go watch Fantastic Four, you know. I'd be like, if you want to see a superhero movie, just watch like Spider-Man 2, The Dark Knight, Watchmen, you know. But this is a fun watch. Maybe, you know, you, a couple of friends just hanging out, just want something to kind of enjoy and make fun of at the same time, you know. It's a silly movie, I like it, I enjoy it for what it is, nothing more. I give it like a 6 out of 10. Maybe that's being too kind. But, you know what? I'm a fool, because I enjoy Tim Story's Fantastic Four, and now I hear they're doing a reboot, which could be interesting. Maybe they'll, I think if they kind of, because even though I do like this movie, I think there's a lot more potential in there for a really good movie, so a reboot could be interesting. That's my review of Fantastic Four, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Superhero Week. Tomorrow 6 Gate reviews with X-Men, I believe, so I'll see you on the other side, and peace.